Fast food! What is America without it? Whether it be the Cheeto chicken sandwich from KFC, the bizarreness of the Whopperito, the McD.L.T from the Golden Arches, or even, oh my god, the Double Down Dog from KFC? Yeah, we have some real monstrosities on this list. Hey, it's Zeep, your favorite YouTuber. I have a lot of weird fast foods on my mind, and if you want a sequel to this, get this to 5,000 likes. Please subscribe, we grow bigger every day, and well, let's just get right straight to the list. I love you guys, here we go. The Chicken McDo with the McSpaghetti. Okay, so fried chicken from McDonald's. Doesn't seem too far-fetched, right? But spaghetti from McDonald's? Okay, what's going on here? So the McSpaghetti was introduced in the early 1970s. And, well, it was essentially spaghetti and meatballs, with cheese sprinkled all on top of it. You know, nothing super complicated. Just bizarre that it would come from a burger chain. I mean, I've never tried it, of course, but the sauce does look a little disgusting if you ask me. Apparently the sauce is really sweet, with even some people saying that it almost tastes like spaghetti with ketchup. Yeah, that's how sweet the sauce is. Instead of a tomato taste, McDonald's decided to be bold and try to add an ingredient that you would put on a burger. Now, the McSpaghetti was quickly discontinued in the United States, but that doesn't mean it was discontinued in a foreign country, because in the Philippines, they love it over there. And for some reason, you could also get it while you're in Orlando, Florida. You see, in the Philippines, spaghetti is fairly popular, but usually has a different type of flavor, one that has a sweeter sauce, that different of your usual tomato sauce, as this sauce contains the ingredients of brown sugar, banana ketchup, and even there they top off their spaghetti with sliced hot dogs, or even sausage. Now that's some exotic cuisine, and it doesn't sound half bad, but when it comes to McDonald's coming into the mix, a lot of people are a little more cautious in trying the spaghetti, especially if the tomato sauce is similar to that of ketchup. It's just bizarre. But at the end of the day, it is still tomato being used on the spaghetti, just not the type of tomato most people back in the United States would love, except if you're in Orlando for whatever reason. That's the only other location in the world that still offers the McSpaghetti. It was an immediate failure, but what makes it even more bizarre is that some people tend to buy the Chicken McDo, which is basically McDonald's fried chicken, and combine it while they're eating with their McSpaghetti. In fact, it's a combo item back in the Philippines that totals up to $3 for the full combo. I mean, you even get a drink with it. That's a pretty good deal. The McSpaghetti is popular in the Philippines because McDonald's caters to Filipino tastes. In fact, the McSpaghetti is their answer to McDonald's biggest competitor in the Philippines, Jollibee, which we have back home here in the United States, but it was originally a Filipino chain. You see, Jollibee withstands McDonald's in the Philippines by focusing on the special tastes of the Filipino market. Jollibee has a menu item that serves pasta with a sweet meat sauce and hot dog slices that of course gives that sweet Filipino flavor. McSpaghetti is really that experiment that succeeded in the Philippines. So although to me and many others it may be bizarre to us back home, it can be a fairly popular food somewhere else. So I guess I can't really knock it till I try it, right? KFC. They've been in the news recently due to the KFC Double Down, which if you didn't know is 2 pieces of fried chicken with bacon and cheese in the middle, almost assuring that you will have cardiac arrest after you're done eating it. I mean, if you think that's bad, just wait until you hear about the KFC Double Down Dog. So here's some context. In 2010, KFC released their first Double Down sandwich, and there was a big huff and puff about it. Eventually, a couple years later, KFC Philippines would expand on the idea of using fried chicken. Once again, the concept is pretty simple. You had fried chicken breast patties wrapped around a hot dog, with of course ketchup, mayo, and cheese being on the hot dog. And this is what the end product looked like. Oh my god. So here's the really weird thing about the Double Down Dog. It was extremely limited. Of course, you know it was only in the Philippines, but each restaurant only had 50 items of it, making it more of a rarer item at these restaurants. Which is bizarre to me because they even went as far to make a commercial for the Double Down Dog. And yeah, they tried to make it as epic as possible.
The all-new KFC Double Down Dog. An original recipe chicken fillet. Wrapped around the Pure Foods tender, juicy hot dog.
So yes, only 50 pieces of the KFC Double Down Dog per day. And it actually was popular because if you weren't there at the KFC at opening, they would completely sell out just an hour later. And yeah, that's a pretty surefire way to create a sense of scarcity and demand for a product. The amazing thing about the Double Down as a concept as a whole is that it was announced by KFC on April Fool's Day 2010 during a press release, meaning that the Double Down is essentially an April Fool's joke that has succeeded time and time again. It was later discontinued in 2014 and came back in 2023. The Double Down just in general was actually a major success, which is no wonder that it would return for a limited time. I mean, they hyped it up so much, they even got the YouTuber Ludwig to advertise it in one of the best commercials I probably have ever seen.
I want to double down. What is it?
It's amazing.
That's a sandwich.
Something you must know if you're thinking about getting the Double Down from KFC is that it's more of a novelty item, especially since it's like $11 to buy, and when all things are considered, an 8-piece bucket of chicken is actually cheaper than the Double Down, which is just 2 pieces of chicken with a slice of cheese and bacon. Is it funny? Sure, but that's really all that it is. Just funny. Guys, music? It's pretty good. That's why you really need a high quality pair of earbuds in order to enjoy some fine records. Raycons are premium audio at an affordable price point that I actually use on a day-to-day basis when I go on walks in the park. They fit very comfortably in my ear. Not only that, but thanks to Raycon, you're paying half the price for the same, if not better quality earbuds. They're water and sweat resistant, containing features such as noise isolation. What makes it even better is that Raycon starts at half the price compared to other audio brands. They even offer buy now, pay later options, paying as low as $18 at checkout. And they also have free and easy return guarantees, as well as over 50,000 5-star reviews. So if you're ready to pay less than you would with some of these other more big name tech brands out there, click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/zeep to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. Again, the link will be down in the description. Thanks to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Whopperito. Okay, where do I get started with this one? Okay, so something I gotta mention is I love Mexican food, and you know, who doesn't? Especially burritos. I'm a Southern California native. When it comes to burritos, that's kind of like our thing. So it's kind of laughable to me that the Whopperito started off in a small town in Pennsylvania and eventually went national and became a laughingstock. Even at some point, a Burger King spokesperson once said that there were no plans for the Whopperito to go national. But at some point in the summer of 2016, Burger King decided to change its mind. Maybe because Stephen Colbert made a story about it, lampooning the Whopperito, saying that it was great if you just hated yourself. If you want to know the ingredients of the Whopperito, critics have labeled it as a thing that lives in a melancholy twilight between 2 types of food. That is the greatness of a burrito and the ingredients of a Whopper. Yeah, it's not really anything that would get me excited, but according to Joy's World Tour, it seemed to be right up his alley. So here's the thing, when it came to social media, people were stabbing the Whopperito with daggers. They did not take too kindly with this thing. It wasn't even funny as a meme, so much so that when this came out, Burger King's same-store sales dropped, with analysts pointing to the Whopperito for being the reason for such a decline. Thus, the Whopperito was killed off. Analysts say that the reason for the Whopperito was because of the Tex-Mex trend that was happening around this time, and the massive success of Chipotle in the mid-2010s. Burger King thought for whatever reason that they could compete in this market. And wrong they were. But here's the thing, you could still get a Whopperito apparently. When you ask for your Whopper next time, in place of burger buns, ask for a tortilla. But keep in mind, most critics agree that there's really not much merit in there for there to be a burrito housing. It really is just an item that's just kind of more why. On to the next unnatural monstrosity. The McD.L.T. Honestly, probably the least offensive thing to ever be talked about on this series. The premise for the McD.L.T. was simple. There would be a styrofoam container that split between the meat and the vegetables and sauce, with the tomato and lettuce being on the other side of the styrofoam container. It was basically McDonald's answer to the Whopper. Released in 1985 and lasted until 1998, it was advertised as probably the best tasting lettuce and tomato hamburger you've ever had. Once again, the major selling point was that they kept the lettuce and tomatoes on the other side of the styrofoam, but to some people this wasn't enough. Some people hated the fact that they kept the cheese on the cold side of the burger. In fact, if you look at the wiki page for this thing, you see an interaction like this. McDonald's needs to find a way to bring back the McD.L.T, the best sandwich McDonald's has ever made. Lesney Fan responds, they put the cheese on the cool side. It should be relegated to history. Just as a side note, if you look at the wiki page for McDonald's and check out the comments, you see a lot of people getting really passionate over McDonald's products and characters. It's kinda wild. If you look at the comments for the ad for the McD.L.T, which featured Jason Alexander singing about how amazing it is, there are a lot of commenters saying that this was one of the greatest burgers, if not the greatest burger they ever had. I mean, dude, it has to be good. It has the Seinfeld guy singing about it.
I'm talking quarter pound of beef on the hot side.
And the hot stays hot.
By the late 1990s, the environment came more at the forefront. The big problem here was that the styrofoam container was particularly fairly bad for the environment. Hence, the McD.L.T vanished. But that doesn't mean it vanished from the minds of people who grew up with it back in the 80s to 90s. It's mentioned in a Family Guy joke, and where Stewie gets really pissed off.
What do you want, Michael?
A McDLT?
No, I already told you they don't make those anymore.
You know, sometimes it's a regional thing. You could ask.
No McDonald's anywhere makes a McDLT anymore.
If you also really want to still get the McD.L.T, I mean, you could just ask for the ingredients, really, when you go to a McDonald's and just assemble it yourself. Ever since then, the McD.L.T has returned briefly in 2005, but has not returned since then. And although I did just state that you could really assemble it yourself if you really want to, without the gimmick of the styrofoam, it really is just another sandwich. The Cheeto Chicken Sandwich. Okay, so last fast foods video, we talked about the mac and Cheetos. This time, we're going a little step beyond. May I introduce to you the salty beast that is the Cheetos Chicken Sandwich. God, what is with KFC and pulling off these giant stunts? I mean, I guess it works, they keep doing it. I mean, why not? I don't really see McDonald's doing this as often as KFC. I have to be honest, it looks weird, but it isn't that bad. The chicken is covered in like Cheeto sauce, and wedged inside the KFC bun is a bunch of mayo and a layer of regular Cheetos.
I was saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Alright, look, I saw this. I thought, yeah, it's gonna be some gimmicky sandwich. It's probably gonna be gross, right? But you gotta be open-minded and you gotta say to yourself, yeah, but what if it's not? And it's tasty. Look, it is a lot better than I thought it was, okay?
It appeared in July of 2019 for 4 weeks, alongside other KFC Cheeto inventions, such as Cheetos fries, Cheetos wings. I mean, it's all a game really of which fast food chain could make the most outrageous product. Of course they know this entire thing is a joke, just look at the ad for this thing. They don't take it seriously. And why should they?
I don't want this boring food. I want something with co-branded flavor.
Howdy, dudes. Did someone say KFC Cheetos co-branded chicken sandwich?
Is that a KFC chicken sandwich with Cheeto sauce and also actual Cheetos on it?
But here's the thing, if you look at the comments for these videos detailing the KFC chicken sandwich, many of them doubted it, but then they ate it and were just like, whoa, this is actually pretty good. I mean, I'd never bought it in the summer of 2019, but in retrospect, I guess I shouldn't knock it until I do eventually try it, right? Every now and then, I get this thing called the Cheeto-rito at this Mexican restaurant I go to, and at first I thought it was just like, oh, this is gonna suck, I'm gonna get this as a joke, but it was actually pretty good, and every now and then I find myself just getting that as opposed to an actual burrito. Cheetos on food? Not healthy per se, not exactly good for you, but it could actually be good. To end off this video, we have something from my least favorite fast food chain of all time. I'm talking about Arby's. That's what I'm talking about. And I've only had Arby's like 2 times, I gotta be honest, but each time I've been like incredibly repulsed by just what they offer, like even just the presentation of the food, even just how it looks, it's enough to just like get me just incredibly rageful that this is a fast food chain all across the United States. Somehow, in some way, we as Americans thought it would be a good idea to help make this incredibly repulsive, just downright disgusting restaurant become a chain. Do you really want to know what's wrong with America? It's Arby's. Oh, we have the meats? Yeah, just go f yourself, dude. Something that people say is tolerable from Arby's are the curly fries. I've had them once, and honestly, they're okay. They're nothing super special. It doesn't overshadow the fact that the main entree, the sandwiches, suck. So Arby's, in their absolute brilliance, tries to remedy this by creating the Arby's Arbynator, which puts in the curly fries alongside cheese on the Arby's sandwich to try and make it seem like, see, it's good now. What actually upsets me is that the article I researched to try and get information on this item on starts off with this sentence. As you may have read on this very website, Arby's has gotten really good. That's bullshit, you know it, Thrillist. I know it's a complete trash opinion, because when you look at something like the Meat Mountain, you see that and you're not gonna say, oh, that's gourmet right there, that's 5-star. No, you're gonna see just something putrid. If you want to know something else about me, I am not friends with a single person who actually likes Arby's or goes to Arby's regularly. And that's for a reason. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one later.